Hello. Induku enhle igawulwa ezezwini. Um, this proverb is simplified. In simplified terms, it means a beautiful stick is found amongst foreign lands. A beautiful stick or a beautiful flower is found amongst foreign lands. We bring this proverb because, according to Fazuke 2006, proverbs provide societies with a philosophical thought. Using this proverb, we bring the philosophical thought of the Amazulu, and we learn that the Amazulu use knowledge that they get from other societies to better themselves. So, the reason why I'm saying this proverb is because we're trying to understand what is African anthropology. Because we're so inundated with Western anthropology, there's no theory that African anthropology is based on. So now we're creating a theory, and from there we're drawing what is African anthropology. So, like we said, the Amazulu, that is a tribe in South Africa, they use knowledge that they get from other societies to better themselves. But most importantly, we learn that the Amazulu went out and they went to go and find information. The going out, therefore, is not foreign amongst the Amazulu people. It is part of their culture. If we take the definition by Levi Strauss that we need to learn from others to express this, the Amazulu use this proverb. What is important in this proverb is that for the Amazulu, it's not learning about themselves, as in the case of Westerners, but it is about enhancing their knowledge and their way of being. So it's about making them better, a better society, a better people. So they take the knowledge that they learn from other tribes and from other people, they bring it home to enhance their being. So in other words, in African anthropology, is not interested in the exotic other. And by the exotic other, and I put it in inverted commas, the exotic other is what Westerners used to call people that weren't westernized. So what Europeans that were westernized called people that they felt were savages, weren't educated, weren't on their level of being. So they did not equate, they saw them as human, but they did not equate them as man. They called them the other. As such, it is not about the difference or the sameness, but it's about what we can learn from other societies. So that is what African anthropology is. It's about what we as a society can learn from another society. We don't want to know how similar we are. We don't want to know how different we are. What we want to know is what I can take from you and what you can take from me so that we can better ourselves. African anthropology draws from an African epistemology that respects differences and that makes comparisons impossible. It understands, so when you respect each other's differences, you won't compare, because once you start comparing, then you're saying, I am better than you or you are better than me. No, we respect each other's differences. It understands that difference does not equate to inequality and life has no hierarchies. So in African anthropology, we go out to find what is good so that we are able to bring it into our space to better our societies. To judge what is good, we use common sense. We explain common sense in section 4.3. That is earlier on in our book. That is informed by understanding that all people are equal even though they are different, but also the ability to use common sense is tied up with a contentment with not knowing which is part and parcel of the African epistemology. This means that African anthropology does not aim to know other societies, because African cosmology teaches people that there are things that cannot be known, and people should be content with that. What African anthropology is interested in is to learn from others to develop the society we occupy. This philosophical understanding of the societies by the Amazulu is preceded by the saying, Inyawo aluna pumulo, which means the foot does not rest. The foot does not rest. This saying firstly shows that the Amazulu and so are other indigenous groups in South Africa. This saying is used to encourage people to treat strangers well, because when they travel, they might meet people that they have ill treated in their home. What can be deduced here is that the center of the Amazulu's logic around the strangers is that they should be treated well and they should be presented well. Because when the Amazulu goes out and they meet those strangers in foreign lands, they expect that those people will treat them good. That's all about Ubuntu. I am because you are. Drawing from the Amazulu's philosophical grounding, African anthropology is not a response to the mainstream anthropology, but it is a new anthropology from societies that anthropology presented without culture, without soul, without development, without democracy, and without a voice. That is what they reduced us to, that we do not have a voice. Excuse me. This finding is what is good in others is not about responding to the anthropological findings and therefore representing the communities we study. African anthropology brings new values from which we should study all communities. This could be expressed as turning the gaze. Anthropology has provided us with a wealth of information about Anthropology has provided us with a wealth of information about the other, but there's also very little known about the so-called civilized and complex societies from an anthropological point of view. If anthropology has provided useful information about societies it has studied, surely it will produce more useful information if it studies all societies. It is important to understand that the society gave birth to people who created the modern world. African anthropology becomes critical in studying such societies. So, what we're saying is that it is important, African anthropology is important because, number one, it studies all societies, it doesn't make comparisons between them, it studies them from a point of view where it respects cultures and it takes from different cultures so that we can enhance what we have right now. So yes, that is my take on African anthropology. I hope that you enjoyed that, and have a lovely day. Thank you.